Welcome back to SportsZone. It's your host, John Phillips. In this block, I am joined by Elias, Freeman, and Beth Spicer as we talk about women's basketball, the best team on campus. And we're not going to talk about tonight's game yet. We're going to leave that for a little bit later. But right now, we just played against Charlotte. We won, double-digit win. How'd you guys feel about that game?
I felt really good. I felt a little nervous considering it was such a close game in the end. And I think it kind of, as someone who's a really big Wings fan, it's kind of hard to watch your women's team lead and they're doing good. And then it's like, oh, we're really close, so please don't lose. So I think it's just kind of concerning, especially getting super close to the American Championship tournament, that I'm just like, please, let's not lose in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, we got to get these wins at this point.
I don't know what is up with that, considering I don't really consider that a problem through the rest of the season, and maybe that is just a one-off game where it happened. I just don't want it to happen again. So I think that's the only remark about the game, that it's just we were doing really good, we were leaving, and then it's I don't know, things fall apart, and it's.
You never want to see that. No. But looking a little more positively, Elias, who stood out for you? What players stood out for you this game?
I mean, we've been talking about her a lot. Schisler, come on. I mean, even right now, we'll talk about her later this game. How she's doing right now, we'll talk about her a little bit later, but come on. She's killing it recently, which I feel isn't super common when you see teams clinch the conference championship and then they kind of
take
their hands off the wheel and just let it ride until it's time to lock back in. But I mean, her foot is on the gas pedal to the metal. She's still tearing up.
That's fair. And another guard who was tearing up against Charlotte, Jazzy Barnett-Owens. I mean, she was really good. I think she had a career high versus Charlotte. I mean, a really great scoring game. They both really impressed me. It was not really the Megan Nestor game that we're used to. Where usually she's dominating the stat sheet, but this game a little bit of a break.
I think they both stepped up to take over where Nestor's been, because I think we realized hey, we're going to win close championship. We don't want you to go down in a game unexpectedly. We need, the same way they do in any sport where it comes close to playoffs. Our best player.
And we're seeing that rest today. Speaking of tonight's game, we're in the third quarter right now, and Megan Nestor's at single-digit minutes in the third quarter for UNT. That's not a sight you see often, but we're still up by 20-plus points because UTSA, 0% from three. 0% from three and under 40% from the field. Just not what you want to see. I mean, how do you guys feel about this game so far? How have we been doing?
I mean, I feel good. I mean, I'm really thankful considering we did lose to them earlier in the season. So I think this means a lot for us that we can play a team and then come back from them, especially going into Saturday. We play South Florida because they kind of destroyed us last time we played. So I'm feeling much better that we're kicking everything out of UTSA. So I think it just knows that our team, especially coming, playoffs and everything, that if we play them and we lose, we know what they do, we know what they're like, and we know how to adapt and get better and then come back at them.
Because that's Coach Burton for you.
Even with our star player, Megan Nestor, we know how to play basketball. And I think that's super nice, and I love that for us.
I agree. In this game, you mentioned Andy Schisler earlier. We'll talk about how she's doing. 14 points already in the third, 5 for 6 from 3. I mean, talk about Andy Schisler.
Come on! That's dare I say the GOAT?
On the same team as Megan, the
That's
GOAT.
true.
2 goats, 1 room. Come on.
Goats can
2
coexist.
goats, 1 court.
They do
Goats can coexist.
I'm tired of all this debate about who's the GOAT. We all know.
Everyone on UNT women's basketball.
It's all of it.
It's every single
basketball
player.
as a whole, actually. So.
Yeah. Well, yes. But just I think it's really special to see them performing the way they are this late in the season. When, like I said, you see this kind of time of year, it's always kind of take your foot off the gas, take a little step. We're seeing that with Megan Nestor tonight. She's single-digit minutes in the third quarter. It's got to be maintenance.
It's got to be.
It's got to be maintenance.
It's performance reasons, actually.
It's performance reasons with Megan Nestor.
It's the matchup.
Performance reasons with one of the best players in the American. So it's got to be maintenance, and for her to just still be performing like this late in the season and not be letting up, it's really impressive, and I love to see it.
Yeah, because usually late in the season you see the role player step up. And speaking of that, Shania Price tonight, double-digit points already in the third. I mean, whenever you see a bench guard get those type of points, you love to see that. How do you feel about the bench for this team going forward, the depth of this team?
I think they're really good with our depth. I think even though obviously we have our big 3 stars, I think that's not where our team ends, and I think that's really good, because when you have a basketball team that just relies on 3 stars, you kind of crumble under pressure because they get tired and everyone else gets tired. And so I think having the depth of our bench too, especially like I said, we go up and then we fall back and then we still continue in the game. I think that pertains to our bench and how even when our stars get tired after going on these big runs, that our bench still is there. They're still giving us points, even though whatever, maybe our defense isn't the best in those moments. We're not like losing by like 20 points or something. Like we're still in the game, and I think that is super important.
And I think another big part of that is Coach Jason Burden. I mean, one of the best coaches in the conference. But I mean, I think that he has girls like Andy Schisler, firing at their max potential right now because he's such a good coach. What does it do for a program like UNT to have arguably the best coach in program history in Jason Burden?
I think it's so special. We talk about this all the time.
It's like a broken record for Burden.
Run it back to last
Megan
week
Nestor,
where I
Jason
said,
Burden.
Yep, like you got to hit all the key points. You got to hit all the bullet points. But we got to run it back. It's so special when a team has that trust in their coach and that coach trusts the team. I think that's a missing piece that a lot of people don't really give enough credit to how much it matters. And not only do you have Coach Burden, but like also Coach Jennings working with the forwards. I've seen him coach in person. He is out there. He is working with those girls. Coach Burden, I've watched him coach, and it is a sight to see. I think it's so special watching these guys work with these girls, and you can tell they truly believe in them, and they trust their ability, especially heading into this conference championship, that they trust they can do it. And I love to see it because I trust they can do it.
You trust the conference. We should talk about that. Conference tournament is coming up soon. Do you guys think that we're going to get maybe a top 3 seed with our performances recently? Do you think we could get that, double bye maybe?
If we can beat South Florida Saturday, because they're currently ranked 3rd in conference, and if we, actually I don't know the record, but if we can beat them, I'm not sure if we'll go 3rd in conference, but I am saying that it gives us a really good lookout for the tournament, even if we don't get a 3rd seed in there, but I think we could literally do it. I think we're so unstoppable, but only having 2 games left is kind of hard to like make a big change this late in the season unless you're the men's basketball team who keeps going down, but that's okay. That's their thing. That's not ours. So,
Yeah, we're here to talk about the
we're
Divas. Come on.
We're not talking about the wins. But I don't know. I think winning against South Florida Saturday really puts us in a really good position of, even though we got beat by almost 30 points, if it wasn't 30, it was close to. So that was really bad. That was really, really bad. So coming back to win that, and maybe even if we don't even win, but just being really close in that game and just being really competitive, I think is a very super important part for us going into this tournament.
Eli, what do you see as the keys against the South Florida team to not repeat that performance, to have a better game too versus them? Who do you think needs to, perform?
I mean,
say it out loud.
But those key players, like, this is the kind of game where you don't maintain performance. You need that performance. You need that edge. You want to push for that double bye, which would be fantastic. But also, I know heading into the conference championship, the possibility of playing Rice again is kind of scary. We talked about it a little bit last week, but I think what I've seen from this team this season is one thing they can do is they can adapt, which I think is a really underrated skill in a lot of teams. Like, we got whooped by South Florida last time. We know how they play now. That's what happened. We got whooped by Rice, and then we came back. We barely lost to Rice. I think they can make that little push. I think it's going to come down to what goes on in the video room, what tape they watch, and it's going to really come down to how well their play style adapts to the South Florida team. When South Florida they're going to be looking to keep Megan Nestor off the glass. They're going to be looking to keep Andy Schisler off the board. They want to keep her from scoring at all. So I think they're going to be focused on those key players while we can focus on adjusting our play to their team.
And I think that's where the depth of our bench really comes in, especially when it comes to these big games where they're going to end up blocking our favorites. They're going to end up blocking them. So it just means that that bench has to come through, and they have in the past. They haven't dropped the ball. I mean, they do really well. And so against South Florida, they're beating UTSA tonight, and they lost to them earlier in the season. So I'm just saying, if we can do it once this week, maybe we can do it twice.
And we have to talk about maybe a 3rd time. You mentioned it. Rice, loss at home, loss away. Does a neutral court change it? Do we get a 3rd chance, and do we win that game if we play them again? What do you guys think?
I think so.
I'm going to repeat exactly what I said last week. Go mean green on the headstone. I think we can do it. I think we can beat Rice. Lost to him real bad. Came back, barely lost, adjusted our play style. I think if you can and that game was riddled with turnovers. I think if you can make that many mistakes in a game and lose by, 72, 73, you can come back, you can turn over the ball 22 times, I think it was, and then still barely lose. Come on, imagine what you're doing when you're playing playoff basketball.
We can only hope. We can only hope. But if we win the American tournament, do you think we have a chance to win a game in March in the real tournament? Do we have a chance with this program? Is Megan Nestor good enough? Is Andy Schister good enough?
I think so. I think we could take at least one game. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping we can. I mean, they came out tonight and before the game, they wore Everyone Watches Mean Green Basketball. And I'm just saying, I think everyone should watch Mean Green women's basketball because they're great.
Yep.
We should watch them in the March Madness tournament.
With performances like this, we have to watch the women's team, and hopefully we can watch them a lot deeper into the tournament in March. That's all the time we have for this blog. Next up, we will be talking about the NFL Draft Combine. So join me after this commercial.